Well, recently, yes, California was accused of some very, very nefarious stuff, namely, once again, taking money and direction from the Russian government. Now, I received text messages and phone calls from people such as, enjoy prison, you're done. Yes, California's over. Hmm. Well, looks like you were all wrong. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this. So here's what happened. The Business Insider originally came out with this article. That's from Business Insider. California secession movement was funded and directed by Russian intelligence agents, U.S. government alleges. Boy, that sounds damning. Makes it look like the whole movement's involved. Actually, it's not. We worked hard after this came out to point out that the indictment did not mention the organization and could not mention the organization because we were cleared by 4 other investigations. And that's why the indictment had to look at an individual. It's called double jeopardy. So you investigate an organization, you find no connections, no collusion, no money, you have nothing left. Well, you can just go after a person then. So the reason they're going after one person is because they can't go after the org because they investigated this 4 times and found nothing. So they can go nowhere with that. That's what the indictment actually shows. We confronted Business Insider with that, pointing out that the Sacramento Bee watched our video explaining this distinction and chose to not follow the same headline as Business Insider. Sacramento Bee's article came out after Business Insider, and it said, did Russia provide funding for a booster? See that? So secession movement was funded. Did Russia provide for a booster? So Business Insider saying the entire movement, SAC-B stepping away from that and saying, no, we're talking about a single person, a booster, not a movement. SAC-B backing away from the Business Insider headline. Now, why is that? Well, because in the very SAC-B article where they talk about that, they mentioned that they saw the Yes California video. Yes California also posted a video to Twitter denying any ties to Russia, noting the court papers do not identify the group by name. That's what we said. So Business Insider comes out, says the whole movement. We release a standard statement saying, no, they're not talking about us. They're talking about an individual. They can't talk about us because we were cleared by 4 investigations. And this is looking at a person, and that's why they won't even name us. And then SAC-B saw that video, and then SAC-B did not follow the same headline as Business Insider and came up with this headline where they asked a question because the indictment hasn't been proven, which is the way they should do. Did Russia? And secondly, they focused on a booster. Business Insider said secession movement. SAC-B said a booster. Business Insider said secession movement in total. SAC-B, after they saw our video, said a booster. We know that because the SAC-B literally acknowledged that they saw our video. Now, we emailed Business Insider all of this information. We pointed out that we were cleared by 4 investigations, that the court case can't talk about us, doesn't talk about us. And we also pointed out that the Sacramento Bee saw our video and chose to not follow them on the title. In which case, I can point out now that the Business Insider headline, if you look it up online, now says a leading California secession advocate got funding from Russia. So originally, Business Insider said secession movement was funded, and now Business Insider changed the title of their headline to a California secession advocate. So they're no longer saying the whole movement. They're saying a person, which follows the SAC-B headline of a booster, because SAC-B acknowledged that they saw our video. And we pointed that out to Business Insider, and they literally went from this headline to this headline. Isn't that interesting? Let me show you a little bit more. So this is the new headline: a leading California secession advocate got funding and direction. So that was not what they said originally. Here's the Sacramento Bee headline: did Russia provide funding and supporting for a booster? So SAC-B saying a booster. Now Business Insider is backing that up, going a leading secession advocate. So Business Insider saying secession advocate, SAC-B saying a booster. Business Insider now following the SAC-B storyline. That's not what they originally did. Let me see if I can do a share screen and show you the email that we did. Here we go. So this is the email that we sent to Business Insider. I CC Jason. We emailed about Malia Robinson had covered us before, so emailed her, and we emailed about, I don't know, 11 different people at Business Insider up and down the business chain, including the owner and all the editors. And we pointed out, please print a correction to slander. Please print correction to slander. We saw the Business Insider article saying California's secession movement was funded. We request that you follow up the article where we can get the facts straight, or the article headline is taken down and changed. Well, they didn't go and do the facts straight, but they did take down the article headline and change it. And isn't it interesting that came right after I informed them that CalExit is now a registered LLC under the direction of Jason Wright? We also pointed out that the Sacramento Bee chose to not use the same title as Business Insider. Sacramento Bee chose to not use the same title. They did funding and focused on a movement. Did Russia provide funding? So, and it says, now notice how SAC-B stays clear of saying the movement and replaces it with a booster. Then we showed them the two videos that we made. And then we pointed out SAC-B also watched our videos and came to this conclusion. And then we reminded them, here's the 4 investigations that we were cleared from. So this is the email that we sent to Business Insider saying, hey, you need to change that from movement to a person because Sacramento Bee saw our video and totally stepped away from your headline. Let me see if I can show you one more thing. So there it is. Business Insider said California's secession movement was backed by Russia. California's secession movement was funded and directed by Russia. Now it says secession advocate. See how they went from movement to advocate after we pointed out that we were an LLC and that the Sacramento Bee did not follow their headlines, and the Sacramento Bee saw our video refuting this, and we sent our information directly to them and pointed out that we aren't playing games. And then Business Insider suddenly changed their headline. Isn't that interesting? So it was a good day. It was a good win, but it doesn't end there. So if you type in Mark Ruiz Evans, it's did Russia provide funding and support? Did Russia find money and support? So no news agency has bothered to reach out to me to ask for my take. But if you type my name in on Google, I come in on all these did Russia provide funding stuff. And the other thing is that the Business Insider article that talked about a individual could receive money from Russia had my picture underneath it. So they're talking about did the movement or did a booster take money from Russia? They're talking about theoretically Louis Marinelli, but my picture's underneath it. So my photo right underneath the headline saying, did American citizen take money from Russia? You know what that means. People think it's me. I mean, type in my name and you see this, people think it's me. So I didn't. They're not talking about me. But if you left it up to the newspapers, you would think it's totally about me because they don't interview me. They don't ask for questions. They barely will acknowledge me, but they'll have my photo right next to a damning headline suggesting I committed a felony when I didn't. Pick your battles when you want. We at least got to get the newspapers to recognize that the court case is only looking at an individual and not the movement, and that it can't. I will point out that it's interesting that the SAC-B refused to point out that we were cleared by 4 investigations, and the Business Insider also refused to point out that we were cleared by 4 investigations. So why do news agencies not bring up we were cleared by 4 investigations when we provide sources? That's a question for you. Why is it news agencies do not bring up we were cleared by 4 investigations when we provide sources? How come Sacramento Bee couldn't do that when they obviously watched our video where we covered it? I mean, we covered that we were cleared by 4 sources in the video that Sacramento Bee acknowledges that they saw, yet they can't print that in the article. And Business Insider, after we told them to please print facts, chose to not do that and change the headline. So why is it that Sacramento Bee and Business Insider at least have been informed that we were cleared by 4 investigations and yet won't bring that up at all? Is that called fair journalism in your opinion? I'll leave that to you. We pick our battles as we can, we win when we can, and we will always continue to bring the truth out because, as you can see, sometimes the media does not provide an accurate representation of what's actually going on. See you again very soon.